Making a snowman. One chilly morning, Bella woke up to a strange quiet outside. She rubbed her eyes, sat up in bed, and peeked out the window. "Oh," she gasped with wide brown eyes. It snowed. Everything outside was covered in soft white fluff. The trees wore little snowy hats, and the rooftops looked like frosted cakes. The grass had completely disappeared under a blanket of snow, and tiny snowflakes were still dancing down from the sky. Bella hurried into the kitchen where her mom and dad were drinking warm coffee. "It's the first snow," Bella said, bouncing in her cozy pajama pants. "Can we go outside? Can we go sliding? Please?" Her mom smiled. "Of course, sweetie. Let's eat breakfast, and then we'll get ready." After a warm bowl of oatmeal with cinnamon and a little honey, Bella got dressed in her snow clothes. She wore her thick winter pants, warm jacket, soft hat, and her beige coat over it all. Her boots were snug, and she had her gloves ready. Outside, the air was crisp and clean. Bella's breath made little clouds in front of her as she giggled and held her sled. Her dad carried it up the small hill by the park, and together they climbed to the top. "Ready, Bella?" Dad asked. "Ready," Bella grinned, hopping on. Down they zoomed. Whee! Snow whooshed to the sides, and Bella giggled so loudly that the birds flew out of the trees. They went up and down, over and over, sometimes with Dad, sometimes with Mom, and once even all three of them squeezed onto the sled, laughing and sliding right into a soft pile of snow. Then it was time for something else very important. "Let's build a snowman," Bella said. "Great idea," Dad said, brushing snow off his coat. They rolled a big snowball for the bottom, then a medium one for the belly, and a small one for the head. Bella patted the snow with her mittens to make it smooth. Dad gave him a big orange carrot for a nose, and Bella gently placed little black buttons down the front. "I'll get a scarf," Mom called, going inside and returning with a red one. Bella picked a cozy hat from the basket in the hallway and placed it carefully on the snowman's head. "There," Bella said proudly. "His name is Mr. Snowbutton." Mr. Snowbutton stood tall in the yard, smiling with his button eyes and wearing his new scarf like a gentleman. Bella gave him a hug, and the snow stuck to her mittens. "I love snow days," she whispered. After one more slide and a few snow angels, it was time to head inside. Their cheeks were rosy, their boots were wet, and they were all giggling as they pulled off their snowy clothes. Mom went to the kitchen, and soon the smell of hot chocolate filled the air. She poured 3 big mugs of hot cocoa and added a swirl of whipped cream on top of each one. "Ooh," Bella said, holding her warm mug in both hands. They curled up on the couch under a big soft blanket and picked out one of Bella's favorite winter movies. As the movie played, they sipped their cocoa and felt warm and happy. Outside, Mr. Snowbutton stood guard in the snow, while inside, Bella snuggled between her mom and dad, smiling with every sip and thinking, "This was the best snowy day ever." The Treasure Hunt. In a quiet corner of the forest, beside a little lily-covered pond, lived a friendly green frog named Froggy. Froggy loved jumping, splashing, and singing little ribbit songs. But most of all, he loved adventures. One sunny morning, Froggy was hopping along the edge of the pond when he spotted something odd, hidden beneath a patch of moss near the roots of a tree. He tilted his head and pulled the moss aside. "Oh, what's this?" he said with a gasp. There, half buried in the soft earth, was a small wooden treasure chest. It was old and dusty, with vines curling around it, and a little gold lock on the front. Froggy's eyes grew wide. "A real treasure chest," he whispered excitedly. "But it's locked. I need help." So off he hopped, as fast as his little froggy legs could take him. First, he visited his friend Pip the bluebird, who was busy fluffing her feathers in a tree. "Pip," Froggy called, "I found a treasure chest, but I need help finding the key." Pip fluttered down and chirped, "Ooh, how exciting! Let's go on a key-finding adventure." Next, they invited Squirrel, who was busy sorting acorns. "A treasure?" Squirrel said, twitching her tail. "Count me in." And finally, they found Tilly the turtle sunbathing by a warm rock. Tilly smiled slowly and said, "I'd love to help. Let's find that key." Together, the 4 friends gathered at the little treasure chest and looked at the golden lock. "Where should we begin?" Pip asked. Froggy looked up at the trees. Let's search the forest first. And off they went, skipping and hopping and waddling together. Pip flew overhead, calling down, "Not here!" every time she checked a hollow tree. Squirrel scurried into bushes and came out with leaves on her head. "Nope, just twigs." Tilly looked under rocks and even inside a snail shell. They searched by the creek, under mushrooms, and behind big logs. They climbed a small hill and slid down the other side, giggling all the way. At lunch, they sat in a circle and shared snacks. Froggy had lily pad cookies, Pip brought sunflower seeds, Squirrel had apple slices, and Tilly brought tiny carrot muffins. They laughed, told jokes, and imagined what might be in the treasure chest. "Maybe gold coins," said Squirrel. "Maybe magical feathers," said Pip. "Maybe a secret map to another treasure," said Tilly. They all oohed together and then giggled. But no key. The next day they searched again. They made a map, sang a key-finding song, and even made key spotter glasses out of twigs and leaves. Still no key. On the third day, they tried to build a little digging machine out of sticks and moss. It didn't work, but it was very funny watching Pip wear it on her head. They kept looking until the sun started to set and the sky turned soft pink and orange. The friends sat down on the soft grass, tired but happy. Froggy looked at the chest and smiled. "You know what?" he said. "I don't think we need to open the treasure chest." Pip blinked. "We don't?" Froggy shook his head. "Nope. I think. The real treasure was spending all this time together." Squirrel's eyes sparkled. "You're right. This was the best adventure ever." Tilly nodded. "Even better than finding sparkly gold." They all leaned back and watched the stars begin to twinkle above the treetops. Froggy hopped up and tapped the chest gently. "Thank you, little chest, for helping us have so much fun." Then they sang a silly treasure song they made up on the spot. We looked and we didn't find the key, but we found the best treasure, and that was you and me." And they all laughed and clapped. That night, Froggy curled up in his little lily pad bed, warm and cozy. He didn't dream of gold or gems or keys. He dreamed of Pip's chirpy giggles, Squirrel's fluffy tail bouncing as she ran, and Tilly's slow but happy smile. Because sometimes the best kind of treasure isn't something you can hold. It's a feeling, and Froggy felt full of treasure. The Treehouse Team. In a quiet green forest, filled with rustling leaves and birds that sang sweet morning songs, there lived 3 cheerful friends: a monkey named Mango, a donkey named Doodle, and a chipmunk named Cheeks. One sunny morning, the 3 friends were sitting on a soft patch of grass, sipping cold berry juice from little wooden cups. "I had a dream," said Mango the monkey, hanging upside down from a tree branch. "A dream about a big cozy treehouse way up in the trees." "Oh," gasped Cheeks the chipmunk, his fluffy tail twitching, "with windows and blankets and a snack corner." Doodle the donkey, who was lying in the grass with his big ears flopped to the side, gave a happy snort. "And a lookout spot where we can see the whole forest." Mango flipped down from the branch and landed with a giggle. "Let's do it. Let's build the coziest treehouse in the whole forest." They all clapped and cheered. Treehouse time. First, they needed a tree. They walked through the forest until they found a tall, sturdy oak tree with big, strong branches that reached toward the sky. It had just enough space and the perfect twisty branch to build on. "This is the one," said Mango. They gave the tree a hug. "Thank you, tree." Then came the building. Cheeks had a little toolbox with tiny chipmunk-sized tools. Mango brought twine and vines from his favorite vine tree. Doodle carried big sticks, planks, and cozy cloths on his back. They worked together happily. Mango was quick and zipped up and down, tying and placing sticks. Cheeks was great at hammering and fitting little pieces together. And Doodle was strong and helped lift and hold everything steady. They giggled and chatted while they worked. "Careful with that board," said Cheeks. "I got it," said Doodle, his ears flopping as he carried a plank. Mango swung down. "Snack break." "Yes, please," they all said. They sat under the tree and shared a picnic of peanut butter sandwiches, crunchy apples, and little honey cakes. After their snack, they climbed back up and kept building. By the end of the day, the walls were up, and there was even a round window made from an old jar lid. The treehouse wasn't finished yet, but it was already looking so cozy. That night, they hung soft lanterns in the branches, and lit them up with tiny fireflies who liked to help out. "Good night, treehouse," whispered Cheeks. "See you tomorrow," yawned Doodle. The next day, they added a rope ladder, a soft floor made from moss and leaves, and a little shelf for books and snacks. They even painted the inside with paw prints, swirls, and a big smiling sun. When they were finally done, Mango stood at the top and shouted, "The treehouse team is finished." They all climbed in together and looked out the little window. They could see birds flying, clouds drifting, and even a rainbow in the distance. "This is perfect," said Cheeks, snuggling into a soft blanket. "Cozy and fun," said Mango, hanging from the ceiling and spinning slowly. "And it's ours," said Doodle with a happy sigh. That evening, they invited a few forest friends to visit. Bunny brought carrot cookies, Owl read them a silly story, and Turtle brought a tiny teapot for tea. They all snuggled up in the treehouse as the stars came out, sipping tea and munching cookies. The lanterns glowed gently, the leaves rustled, the whole forest seemed to smile, and the little treehouse, high in the branches, filled with laughter and stories, became the happiest little spot in the whole forest.
The end. Don't forget to subscribe.